Oscar?
In your perspective, what is the biggest challenge facing expanded learning? And what hope opportunities is there to counter this specific challenge?
Yeah. You go first this time. That way I got to process that. I was
Sure.
like 4 questions. Who wrote those questions?
So, expanded learning as we know it has been going on for a long, long time. Everybody thinks that it started in 2006 or 2002, and it didn't. It's been going on for decades. What we know of this new wave of expanded learning is now 20 years old. And so now we have hit the teenage years. We're now going into adulthood of expanded learning, and with that comes growing pains. And there's always going to be the political side, there's always going to be the economic side, and then there are always going to be the issues that happen on the ground. At the end of the day, I think we need to focus on why did we start expanded learning in the first place? What was the original community need? Was it that there are not enough services? Because I would argue that if you think about it from a nonprofit perspective, if you're a nonprofit that's still going on 20 years later, then you haven't done your mission, which was to eradicate something. We're still not there. The issue that we're facing day in and day out, each and every day at the site level, is that we can't find enough qualified staff to stay, or we're not giving them enough hope to want to be there, right? And so how do we incentivize our staff to feel a sense of accomplishment and hope, and giving them the tools and resources so that they can feel confident and comfortable in the job that they're doing, knowing that the magnitude of what they do is huge. Like, how do we answer the question, why do you keep showing up every day? And why don't we translate that into actual dollars, policy, and practice so that everybody feels that same way?
Amen, brother. For me, I think the biggest threat for after-school expanded learning is an internal threat. The degree of hubris that we have as a field. The arrogance, which I think could possibly lead to be more irrelevant. Meaning that what I've seen is, I remember when we went from 121 million to 550 million, and the difference, right? Like he was saying, adolescent years. So what I'm seeing a lot is there's a sense of like, oh, we already got this. We already know how to do this, right? And I believe there is an element to that, but what I'm seeing more and more is that there's almost like, it's weird, it might be blasphemous to say this, but you know, whether it was after school or core day and us versus them, I almost feel that there's a degree of insecurity of like trying to overcompensate. So it's almost deluded us to thinking that we can do it all, right? And these stories are so like impassioned, and we believe we can do it all, right? But I think we have to manage those expectations of what, initially what you said in the beginning is about safety, right? But then somehow then it becomes about academics. And then it gets confused, and now it's about social and emotional learning. So it's now social emotional learning, academics, and all these things becomes really convoluted. Why? Because I don't think we have a clear enough message of what we are and what we don't, and what we are not, right? And part of that, I agree, is that we don't have that reflection as a field. So that kind of arrogance is that they'll tell us something, but we might not listen to it. The site coordinators might be telling us information, but we might be responding to it. This whole event was inspired because we saw, like, if we're gonna make a difference in the state, we need to activate the site coordinators. And it came out in different like evaluations, STEM, STEAM, and all that. Like, we need to activate that, right? So they're listening now. So let's not take advantage. Let's not get lazy on it. Let's go on the offense. And now they're listening, and let's grab their hand, grab their coat, and then now we're going to sit down and we're going to tell you what we need what kind of support that we need at the site level. So again, it's not so much internal. I think it's more internal, and part of that is just working together. I think the higher you go up, you tend to be a little bit more siloed out, in terms of like connecting with people and connecting it. At the same time, it could be a flip side. I would recommend, hands down, you all need to go to different sites, different regions, go throughout the states and talk to other people, see the other programs. On one end, you're gonna be like, dude, this was awesome. My programs are awesome, I saw some garbage programs, right? On the flip side, you're like, whoa, I got a lot to learn from this.
I gotta up my game.
Right? Yeah. That's my take.